Give it up for Coach D, everybody.
Hey y'all. I'm a little country, so I say y'all. Hey y'all. Well, you've seen, who's seen Bring It, first of all? Okay, right? So, you know that our style with the Dancing Dolls is more of a hip-hop majorette-ish style. It's kind of a mixture of everything. And I kind of share some of the same stories that Jamal has as far as being raw and never really having any type of majorette dance training. Now, I've taken the basic ballet class or your hip-hop class, your jazz class, your tap class. But as far as being in a real dance studio, being trained by professionals, I never had the opportunities to do any of that. I had a dream of starting a dance team. I had a hope of being able to teach kids something and give them opportunities that I never had. I got my degree from Jackson State University in criminal justice with a concentration in juvenile justice. Now, I could have been a lawyer, I could have been a police officer, I could have done a lot of things with my degree. But with juvenile justice, I chose to work with kids in a different way. And giving these kids opportunities and teaching them responsibility and also letting them know, hey, in the street you can get into X, Y, and Z, but with me, you can go a whole different direction. And giving these kids an opportunity to dance and giving them structure, showing them discipline, teaching them to be determined, and overcoming a lot of fears and being persevering through so many things. Because believe it or not, you see the girls one way, how they show them on TV, but in real life, they're real kids with real problems. And a lot of them are overly sensitive about the way they look, their face, their hair, just all of it. Some feel like Kayla. You know Kayla if you watch the show. Kayla has a complex of being very dark. Her skin is very dark. And she's shaded a lot for having dark skin. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just I don't know what it is, but her being thick too in the hips, I want butt. I don't have a big butt, but for her having the shape she has, she shaved a whole lot. But with my dance training and the things that I've learned going to Jackson State, I've learned how to help these kids overcome a lot of adversity that they face, but also teach them a lot about my road and things that I've been through, and to use my life as a walking, talking blueprint of what not to do, but how you can overcome things that you've been through. Now, I got my degree from Jackson State, like I said, in 2005, but during my course of being at Jackson State, I tried out for the dance line at Jackson State 5 to 6 times. Not one time did I make the team. I don't think it had anything to do with my dance ability, because obviously I can dance. There's a lot of politics when it's involving a lot of these HBCU dance lines. I'm not going to get into that. A lot of politics involving that. But I always tell the girls, it's a reason that I'm with you and I'm not doing that. God has a plan for us all. I was not supposed to be dancing. I'm supposed to serve. I'm supposed to help you. I'm supposed to give you things that I never received. My mom didn't want me to dance. My mom wanted me to go to school, get a regular job, and that was it. She always told me dance is not a career, you're not going to make any money, you're not going to blah, 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 you're not going to do anything with any of that. But now, if I had to listen to my mom, I love her to death this Mother's Day, I love her to death. But if I had to listen to my mom, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Bring It was actually founded by chance. They found me on YouTube. It wasn't something that they said, oh, let's go look for the dancing dolls. If you remember, Super Bowl, Madonna, she had the dancing dolls from Southern University dancing with her. And Pilgrim Studios, John Unger Googled and looked up dancing dolls, and up popped dollhousedancefactory.com, my website that had only been up 1 year. My team had been around since 2001, the website only up 1 year. And the fact that someone found that majorette dance, a dance style that has no genre, that has no label, was interesting. It was admirable for me. And the show, Lifetime believed in us, which is kind of crazy because we're not dance moms. We're like over the top, in your face. I'm very loud. Like I say what I want. I have my own personality. Like I'm being calm now because I have to be good.
No, you don't.
But I'm a very over-the-top individual when I coach. I'm like a dude when I'm on the field, like NFL football. Like I scream and yell and go nuts when the kids perform, but they feed off of my energy. So but for majorette dance, for me, majorette dance is my life. It's who I am. Dance period, music period, from gospel music to jazz music to R&B to whatever. I want to listen to it. I want to dance to it all. I'm pretty much into everything. I don't have boundaries. I really can kind of piggyback off what you said, because to hear that I wish my girls could hear that. Because a lot of them feel like they have to be an Alvin Ailey dancer or an American Ballet Company dancer or go to Juilliard to feel like they have to be successful. And Kayla is one of those ones. She's hip hop, period. She doesn't know it. She's like, Miss Diana, that's all I got. Like, that's me. And I always tell my kids that don't let people put you in a box or make you feel like this is all you can do or all you can be. In life, it's limitless. Look at me, I'm nobody. You know, I'm just some country girl from Jackson, Mississippi that Pilgrim Studios in Hollywood, California found me on YouTube and thought what I was doing was interesting and said, hey, let's put you on TV. I'm like, me?
Yeah.
Me with the crooked teeth? Me with the loud mouth? Me with the bad past? But you're going to put me on TV? But people are learning from my adversities and things that I've faced. And I have overcome a lot to still be sitting where I am right now. So I really just appreciate the opportunity to even be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen so many people come to auditions, and you know, they come in and they send me their resume, and the resume will be in front, and they'll list all of the things, all of the classes, all of the education that they've had in dance, and then we'll put them out on the dance floor, and then you'll bring somebody that has never studied dance at all, but has this heart, and she will outdance that other girl like all day long. The dance rings around. And I've seen it so many times. So really, I kind of believe that it is really in here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you ain't got it in here, I don't care how much you study. You know, it's just not going to show on the dance floor.
Can't buy passion.
Nah, not at all. All right.
Okay, I'll go. I'm gonna be leaning down and stuff. Okay. Woo. Said a lot good. That was awesome though. Okay, I would say I started moving in elementary school. And then I went on to I started taking dance in the 7th grade, and then I went on to Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts in Dallas, Texas. There I studied ballet, jazz, modern. We didn't have hip hop then. Jazz, African, all the basics, and took class with Dallas Black. And during that time, I was really trying to find out who I was. So I didn't really come out until I was a junior in high school. But at the same time, I was discovering Kennedy Davenport. And it was this crazy dance that was going around in our community, and it's called disco, it was called bucking, it was called drag dance, and I wanted to know what it was. I know being in the club at the age of 16, not having no business in there, all I knew is that when this music came on, something came over me, and I just had to get my life. So I said all that to say that drag dance is actually a form of dance that people do not realize and understand. And I get a lot of negativity about it, believe it or not, because they see on my YouTube page, oh, she's doing the same stuff over and over again, just a different costume. Well, drag dance is a sequence of moves that have been carried for centuries now. Go back to the late 80s. I would go back to the late 70s, early 80s, where the girls were taking the girls that didn't have formal dance training, but were using dance steps and didn't know it. So they just put a name to it, old Papa Ray, keep all change, and and it just carried. And so my mission was to learn it and to put my own spin on it and carry the legacy of drag dance. I call it drag dance because it is a form of dance. I was very discouraged in high school because I was feminine, and in in dance, where I came from, they were really hard on us for dancing like men. and my back is swayed, and honey, they killed me about all of that, and I was just discouraged from auditioning for Juilliard and auditioning for all these major companies, and the same with my singing career. So it was like, I'm tired of giving up. I'm tired of doing things that I love to do and being discouraged from people around me. So I chose to do drag full-time, and I chose to put all that I had in the form of drag dance. That's why when you see other people, and you see people, other people that may be drag dancing, they're like, they look like Kennedy. Kennedy, why she dancing like Kennedy? I get that a lot because I work hard making my moves trademarks. And that's what it's all about. It's about passing down the legacy. They're not doing what I'm doing. They're doing it to make it their own. And that's what drag dance is about. It's about taking the basic and making it your own. It's a lot of things that I do that are trademarked, but that's what made it, that's what put the stamp on it. That's why I do what I do. It's to pass down the legacy of drag dance, hence Chi-Chi, who she should go next. Because she's one that studied me, and it's an honor for me. I've been doing this going on 20 years now, female impersonation, but dance has been my life. Dance is all I know, and I'm glad that this opportunity just rolled up on me, you know, because I was in the Navy. I mean, I have regular jobs, you know, because even in the arts, and going to school in the arts. I even went to North Carolina School of the Arts. I stayed there 2 semesters. I said, I can't do it. You know, I said, no, I can't do another 4 years because my high school was like college. But even in the midst of all that, you still, it's no guarantee that that dance or any type of art will be a career for you. So I always kept another job. Everything was a hobby, you know, dance and drag and all that it came out to be a hobby. But in order to be successful, you're gonna have to put your all into your passion. Because I would have never known about Drag Race had I not auditioned. And Drag Race just set the platform for me to share my gift with the world.
Yeah. Okay. Can we? Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So y'all gotta excuse me. I'm a little bit taken back because I've never talked to an audience about my style of dance before. So just to start off, it's a pleasure to be here and to explain my experiences with you all. Like Kennedy said, these dance moves have been passed down. I've spent countless hours studying. When I decided to do drag, let's start from the beginning. So little old Chi-Chi as a boy, I've always been that one when the music comes on. I'm the little boy that's getting it. I've always been a dancer. Growing up, everybody know I had a hard life, semi-hard. I had a hard life growing up, so my mom could not afford to send 3 kids to dance class. Because if you send one, you can't put one in dance class and not put the rest of them. So I didn't get a chance as a kid at all to take dance or to hone in on what my true talent is. I didn't find out until I turned 22 years old, and I was working 2 jobs myself. And you know what? I said, you know what? This is the time. I want to take dance. I've always wanted to do ballet. I've always wanted to have that technique under my belt. So at the age of 22 years old, I began to take dance class. 22, 23, 24 years old, I started doing drag. That's when I found out that this is what I wanted to do. Drag Race has taken me everywhere. I never in a million years thought that I would be a professional drag queen. So when you see me and I'm not as polished as the other girls, that's because this is what they do for their life. This was just my hobby, and now it's becoming my career. So I'm rethinking everything that I have to do in my life, you know what I mean? Because my life has taken a totally different direction. But my dance style, I did take class for 5 years, so I know a little bit about like the basics like everybody else, you know what I mean? But when I started doing drag, I wanted to be just like this girl. Yeah. There has been some before her that will wear the stage out. But this is the only one that is still left, that is still burning up stages. Yeah. Anytime I see her, I tell her, girl, you just don't know how many hours I have sat. I'm about to start crying now. Because I'm shaking. Like, because it's real. I mean, this girl just don't know. But that when you see me and you say, oh, she's a little Kennedy Davenport, that's the reason. We have this set thing that drag queens do. We have kickball chains, step kick, you know what I mean? And just so happen I can tumble, so I can kind of make out what she do. But I also, y'all don't know, at the same time in the clubs, in gay clubs, there are what we call J-setters, bookers. Most of you that go to gay clubs, you know, you've seen that group that always clear the dance floor off. You're like, these bitches need to move because I'm ready to dance. We call it J-setting. And J-setting comes from Jackson State. And she's from Jackson, so that's where we have groups in the club. So I danced for years in the club, underground, bucking, doing what Miss D does. We always wanted to imitate Jackson State's dance line. So that's when you see the kicks and you see the cartwheels on the elbows and all that. That's where that comes from.
It all favors. It all favors. The J-setting, the bucking, and drag dance. It all favors.
Exactly.
That's what sets her apart from me.
Exactly.
Because she J-sets and bucks and she puts that in her routine. That's what makes her original. She also backflips. That's what makes her original. That's what sets her apart from the things that I do. What sets me apart is it comes from a place where, baby, I can't even explain. It's like the Holy Ghost. I don't choreograph my moves. I think when the beat come on, that's what I feel, and that's how I go down.
That's what dance should be about. When the music comes on, you should feel it.
Started off in the business in Chicago, actually. My brother, who has passed away, was trans. And so from a very young age, I grew up in the community, in the drag and trans community. And I never took dance as like, back then, I never took it seriously. I just was like a dancer by nature. Like I just had like a natural ability to dance. And I remember back then, I was hired one time to dance for a house music artist. His name is Cashmere. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song, Time for the Percolator. So if you look at that video, you'll see me going
on.
I was one of those hard dancers, right? And really, he was kind of like my first celebrity, like on the underground house music level. But my real celebrities were the drag community. I would dance and choreograph for the girls that were competing in Miss Continental pageants. I was dancing for, girls like Candy Love, who now is a sex change. She was a Janet impersonator, and we would go around the country doing Thrive. And, it just became this thing that the drag community supported me in and also celebrated me in. And I felt, okay, if I can be successful in this world, I can really take this to Hollywood. So one thing led to another. I ended up working with R. Kelly in Chicago and Sparkle, and then I eventually moved to LA and auditioned for Jamal. Jamal would hire me for gigs. Like Jamal was always known as like the hot, tall guy, and I would always try to figure out how to, because I'm smaller. I was like, how did I get on their level? But it was always unmatched because I was always shorter. But I eventually got with people that were my height, like the group Black and Missy Elliott. She eventually hired me to do the Get Your Freak On music video, and that really opened doors for me.
Hey, this is Gina K. Make sure you're checking back at the Zap Recap on YouTube for all of your favorite Dragcon videos featuring me and actual drag queens. And you're going to see a lot of hilarity, you're going to see a lot of reading, and a lot of men.